Hello, hello. I am very, very excited for this SEO education. I'm always excited every month. I don't know why I say that because it sounds like a broken record, but all of the information that Cinthia shares and has shared with me has really, really helped my business grow like insane amounts in a shorter period of time than I expected. So, of course, when we're talking about SEO and for my free community, I think that SEO is one of the biggest things that you can do to get your website seen. Of course, Pinterest is going to drive traffic and all those things, but you want your SEO to be working for you so that it enables Google to like push your stuff out to more people because they know who you are. And today is going to be amazing because today we are going to be talking about keywords. This is, I think, I don't know about you, Cinthia, but this is like the most requested
Can you close the
thing
blinds behind me?
for Pinterest, even that I get. So it's insane that I mean, it's a search platform, right? So of course keywords are big, and they're also big for Pinterest, and those are the questions I get asked the most. So to have you here is just so exciting. I will tell you that Cinthia is going to be doing a live sort of demo, a demonstration utilizing your content. But in order to do that, you have to volunteer, and she'll let you know what needs to be done. But put in the chat if you want to have her choose you. And then as we get to that section, she'll go ahead and be able to get started. All right, Cinthia, take it away.
Yeah. Thanks, Jen. Yeah, I always start everything with like, I'm so excited. And then I have to change that word once in a while, but I am really excited. It's just the way things are. Okay, so hi everybody. Love being here in the group again. Yay, Jen. Yeah, so I'd love to do demo maybe with a few of you. And what I need from you, I'm just going to put in the chat
Yes.
is if you want me to demo, you need to add me to the Search Console with this email that I just put in the chat, which is cinthia@digitalbloomiq.com. And you just need to go to the settings of your Search Console, which are on the top bottom left, admin, and then there's one section that says users and permissions. The reason I'm bringing it up now at the very beginning is like, I want us, when we get to the demo, to just dive into our demo so you guys can like do that quickly as we're, getting started here.
And
And if not,
what do they need to pick from you? So like when they go into their admin and they're adding you, I know there's several options. In order for you to see
uh,
their content, which do you choose? Like I know there's admin, there's like all the different things, right?
in Search Console,
Oh, I was thinking Google Analytics.
no, Search Console. Let's just
Good.
do
Okay,
Search Console.
perfect.
Yeah, it's a little bit easier.
Love it.
Yeah, exactly. But if someone's struggling with that, also do not stress about it. We can spend a few minutes at the end, like, yay, Jen. Okay, yeah, I'll check in a little bit. Okay, so like Jen said, I just realized you guys have the same name. I was like, Jen, I repeated myself. We're going to be talking about keywords today, and it is one of the most popular topics. And I also feel like it's one of the easiest ways for us to impact our SEO if we're not a web developer or someone who knows code, or maybe you know a little, but it is really like the fastest way to start doing SEO if that's been like on your list. I've heard people like, do SEO, what does that mean? So we're going to talk a little bit about that. So today we're going to cover a little bit about the basics of keywords and how it ties into our SEO strategy. We're going to talk about how to start to understand what our audience is searching and how to use the Google Search Console to also identify what people are, how our visitors are finding us right now in Google. And I'm going to cover some keyword metrics you want to know about when you're selecting your keywords. Then I have a little surprise for you guys, which I always do. And then at the end, we're going to do our demo and Q&A. So there'll be some time there to ask questions, and I'm going to do my best just to get to everybody. Okay, so if you don't know, my name is Cinthia Pacheco. I am the owner and founder of Digital Bloom IQ, which is a digital marketing agency specializing in SEO. I'm also a mom to a very energetic 2.5-year-old. I love to travel, and I'm an SEO expert, and I'm really passionate about helping female founders get found in Google and change the world. So let's talk about SEO. So SEO stands for search engine optimization. I know, really fancy word. And it's, in my opinion, the act of making your website more human and Google friendly so you can get found with what you're already doing. And that's really the beauty of SEO if we compare it to other marketing channels, is that there are already people looking for you. And so SEO is about just connecting you with those searches. And that's what keywords help us with. So here are a few stats that I pulled from Forbes on our SEO in 2024. So the average internet user conducts 3 to 4 searches per day. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. And Google has 8.5 billion searches per day worldwide. 68% of online experiences begin with a search engine, and 53.3% of all website traffic comes from organic searches. So to say the least, SEO is like a powerful driver of visibility for our online business. And we need to look at it. We need to take action on it. And I know that can be hard, especially if you have a lot of different moving parts going on in your business. So we're going to talk about that today. So if you have a website, even if you don't have a website, using SEO to generate leads and sales while you sleep, you want to definitely have an effective SEO strategy. Okay, are we ready? All right, so before we dive into keywords specifically, I do want to give you context of like keywords are one area of different areas of SEO. So keywords and content is what we're going to be talking about today, but then we do have something called technical SEO, which is looking at how our website is performing and overall what's the experience of a website. We also have backlinking and authority building. So you want other websites to reference your website and to reference it as an authority website so that your content gets seen more visibly by Google. And then also part of doing SEO is understanding our competitors. And this kind of ties into all of it, but understanding, who are we trying to compete with in the search results? Who are we currently competing with? And like, what are our differentiators? So like I said, today we're just going to be covering keywords and content, but I do have courses and trainings that actually cover everything. All right, so keywords are words and phrases that our visitor is using actively to search in Google and other sorry, I meant to put their other search engines. So, Bing, Yahoo, there's like a bunch of alternative ones. Google has the biggest part of the market. I think it's like 99% of most searches are Google. But it's good to be aware that there's other ones out there as well. And we have different types of searches. So we've got informational searches. So these are keywords where someone's looking for information. So here it could be like, what are Pinterest pins? What is Robert De Niro's height? Some of them like might not, right? Like we don't care about maybe Robert De Niro's height, but like informational keywords can connect to our business because we are educating and giving information about what we do. Then we've got navigational searches. These ones definitely we don't really care about because they're just people trying to get, like we all do it. We type in YouTube or whatever, and it brings us to that site. Then we've got transactional searches. So here it's more interesting because we have someone who is looking to buy something, right? And they're like much closer to that sale end of the funnel. And then we've got commercial investigation. And so here the idea is that they're kind of in the close to the sale, but they're not ready to buy yet, right? They're investigating. So these three are really the ones we want to target. And the strategy that I recommend for my students and clients is you want to have a diversified keyword approach so that you're hitting people in different parts of the funnel, right? You've got people who might not be aware that there are, like this is for Jen's business, right? People might not even know that you could learn about Pinterest, right? Maybe they just think, oh, it's just it's this thing, but like, oh, there's a Pinterest course. I didn't even know I could do that, but they want to learn, right? Then you might have people who are aware that there is like a service or a course. And then you have someone who's in the middle, right? Who's kind of like figuring out, do I want a course? What courses are there out there? What are my options? So you want to, like, again, diversify. And I know all of us want this transactional keyword because, just that dream to have Google searches coming in and like going immediately to a sale. That dream is totally possible, but we don't want to put all our keyword eggs in one basket, right? And just do that. So we want to diversify, and that's what's important. Okay, so we're going to get started with understanding what our audiences are searching. And here we've got a few different tools. The first thing, though, I want to mention before I demo one of the tools and I share that, is it's really important to just connect with why, why we start our business, and also like what we think our audience is struggling with. Because that's going to help us do better keyword research. So what I say to a lot of people is, do a little soul searching, think about what you think your audience is searching, and just start to have real conversations with your clients. You can do a poll, you could email people and say, like, what are you struggling with right now? And that human data is going to help you plug into the tools. So I don't recommend with any tool just going in kind of blind without any kind of real human keywords, because that gives us so much more richness and information when we do go to the digital side of things. So again, this could just be like reaching out to a client being like, look, I'm doing some market research. I'd love to offer you like a free consulting call in exchange for 15 minutes of your time to ask you some questions. I've used Facebook groups a lot as well, of like, hey, I'm doing market research on SEO. Can I get on the phone with some people? And I've had people ended up hiring me because I asked them some questions as well. So that's really important. I want to just say that before we dive into the tools. Okay, so there are a few different places we can start to get a sense of like, what are people searching when it comes to our businesses. And I love this idea of like looking to the community, like looking to Facebook groups. Something like Reddit can be really fascinating because people are so raw and real, and there's like conversations. Quora is another one that's really interesting. And then there's Answer the Public, which I'm going to demo right now. I'm wondering if someone wants me to, I usually just use Jen as the guinea pig, but if someone wants to like pop in their business, like their services and their website, I can also demo that as well.
So I think Danielle, I think she can totally help you, even though Danielle took a month off in July, which bravo for you. That is amazing. I just want to put that out there. Taking vacation is amazing.
Oh my gosh.
But
So
your
important.
website doesn't go super up or super down with not doing anything for like 1 month, right? All the years of your work on it. So if you want to do that, you can go to Google Console and add in her email, which I will give you right now, or you can just give her your business. She's a brand photographer, and she can look it up for you too.
Yeah, so we can do brand photography, and then in the meantime, I guess I don't see the chat in the Facebook. I didn't open that one. But yeah, we could just put in like here brand photography, for example. I think it gives me a certain amount of free sorry, of free searches each month, and then it caps me if you're doing the free.
I think
Um
it's at the top. I think the US they put at the very top.
oh,
I think. I don't
of
know.
course
Yeah,
it
they
is.
usually
Yeah,
do.
you're right.
Which is great
Yeah.
for us, not great for other countries.
Okay, so you can see here that, yeah, it says I have one free search or I guess 2 free searches. And then if I register, I have 3. Anyway, you just can use it a certain amount of time in a day, basically. Okay, so what this does is it starts to bring in a bunch of different questions, and it's very visual, so it's kind of cool.
Love
So
that.
here, you'll see that it'll give you information about, what, like visually, like, oh, it even now gives you search volume. That's new.
Wow, that is
So it'll tell
cool.
you, yeah, that's kind of cool. So you can download this as well, which I highly recommend. So you can see like how to start brand photography, how to get into brand photography, how to brand. Okay, so for sorry, Danielle, I think some of these might not be relevant because you don't want to attract people who want to start a brand, or maybe you do, but I'm assuming you don't. You want to, attract people who want brand photography done. So yeah, so maybe the what is not the best question for you. Best brand, yeah, brand name for these are also a little bit off. Why?
Yeah, that
Okay,
always
this
happens
could
when you look at brand photography for whatever reason.
it's too broad, right?
Mhm.
So maybe it should have been like
Yes.
business brand photography or something like that. But maybe something like why brand photography is important. That would be like an informational keyword. Brand photography near me. I mean, that's a good local SEO keyword. But you can see here that you're just getting like the full rundown of all kind of angles for this kind of keyword. And so that can be a great starting point to starting to understand like how can I approach this, and like what kind of content can I create. So even like brand photography examples, I think that's
I
interesting.
think brand photography
Um,
trends are also something that does really well.
yeah,
I need to do, I
yeah,
always forget to do it every year.
yeah, trends. Or maybe if you end up doing a course or some sort of educational brand to photography style guide, that's a great like opt-in idea actually.
A great
You
idea.
can,
Stuff.
yeah.
I'm taking
So
notes
we're
too,
kind of
Danielle.
I think this step, this step comes before we start picking keywords. So this is the step I love because you kind of, well, I love it, but it can be overwhelming. You're like falling down the keyword rabbit hole, and you can spend quite a bit of time like collecting keywords. I don't recommend, I mean, there could be some keywords that jump out at you right away, but I recommend staying open and staying curious and not necessarily going right to like, oh, I'm just going to start creating about this. Like, because you want to see the different angles, and you want your brain to go into that creative, I guess it is left brain. I can't remember, but
Yeah.
just that side where you're like really thinking out of the box before you start to like analyze your metrics. Because a lot of people start to analyze metrics at this stage and then they get stuck because they're like, well, but now I'm confused. Like, do I do this one or another one? So this is like the stage where you're just kind of collecting, you're collecting. And then after you decide if you want to, what direction you want to go in. So this is this is answer the public. I was thinking we could do another one, another business. I don't know, Jen, if you want to let me know what you do.
Um,
I put my website in there. I wasn't sure what you needed, but I'm basically a
Oh,
gift shop.
uh,
she's a gift. She has a gift shop.
for all sorts of gifts.
Yeah, it's in
Handmade.
pineapple trees. Blah, blah, blah.
Pineapples and palm trees is
Thank
the website, but handmade gifts.
Okay, I got it. Yeah, sorry, I was because I wanted to go a little bit maybe specific, but let's do handmade gifts and see what comes up. It
This
should
is
let
why
me.
it's so important to come live, because then you get an expert working on your stuff. So important.
Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, I think I used my searches.
We can use mine
I
too if
think
you
it,
want.
but I'm gonna try one more time and then see if it lets me. Oh, I actually do have an account. Let's try login. There we go. Let's see if it lets me the last one there. Okay. Oh no.
Do you want to use mine?
Oh. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's just switch over the screen.
Yeah. Let me just pull up answer.
Oh, wait. There it did it. I don't know what
Oh,
happened.
good. Oh, good, good, good. That works out great.
It changed its
Because then
it
you get
changed
to
its
drive,
mind.
right?
Okay. Are handmade gifts better? Huh, interesting. I never thought someone would ask that. Why are handmade gifts special? So this is definitely like
And
informational,
look at
like,
the search volume. Wow.
yeah. Yeah, like, well, this is the total.
For all of them, but still, that's a lot.
Yeah. Um, sorry, I don't like the wheel either. I'm gonna do list.
I know the wheel makes me nuts. It feels like I can't see it.
The wheel, it feels like you're doing like it's cool, but I don't think it's as effective. So yeah, this again, this is like just kind of like opens up to like there are people actually searching for this stuff. Who knew? Handmade gifts 2024. Fascinating. Like maybe there is some like handmade gifts that are more popular in 2024. Um
So
okay, so this
for
is
answer
getting
the
more into
public,
DIY, right? So maybe for you, Jen, these aren't as helpful unless you have kits or something.
Jen, did
But
you say something?
no, just a question for answer the public. I've been using that to help write my blogs, like what ideas to get for blogging.
Mhm.
Is that the best way to use it, or is that?
that's what we're getting to.
Oh, okay.
This is
We're
like the first step.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
focused on this whole education is about keywords for you to use on your website, whether it's a blog or your copy on your homepage or whatever. So it's to
Yeah.
basically create, like in a spreadsheet, a list of all of these keywords that are rankings so that when you do go to write a blog, you just look at your list. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
perfect. That's what I was using it. So I've been using it for. So I was like, oh crap, am I using it wrong or?
Nope, you're not using it wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. This is for me, this is the first step. I don't look at metrics yet. I just kind of get curious. But yeah, you can see there's a lot. I love these like handmade gifts for mom. For you, Jen, this could be category pages like handmade gifts with photos, handmade gifts with paper, handmade gifts for boyfriend. Those could be category pages so that you classify your products by loved one. And so that could be a way for you to get traffic to category pages. Um, so yeah, so something like answer the public is a great starting point, but like I said, there are a few different tools, and not all of them are going to have SEO data in them, and that's okay. So this first step isn't about looking at metrics. It's just about seeing what's out there and starting to get curious and hoping like maybe seeing a different angle on a keyword that you didn't know about before so that you can just make sure your keyword strategy is diverse, right? So we're not just doing transactional, we're not just doing informational, we're looking at the whole shopping funnel, right? From someone who has no idea that you exist to someone who's looking at your competitors and comparing and contrasting their options. Okay, so once you've got your list of keywords, the next step is to start to look at some information that's well, it's starting to look at your own site. So what I like to do is I like to get a sense of, what's happening out there, but then I like to look at what's happening on my site specifically, to be able to see maybe I'm already ranking for some keywords. So I'm actually going to use Jen Vasquez's site for this one. So we all know Jen does Pinterest. This is the Search Console. So if you don't have this set up, I'll at the end I have a free resource as well to have your Search Console set up. So the Search Console, what it does is it tells you your keywords that are bringing you clicks and impressions right now. So
And
if I scroll down, I
and
can
note,
see here that,
I just wanted to jump in. I'm so sorry, but note that I was
yeah,
a wedding photographer and transitioned this year over to brand photography. So all of these different keywords that you're seeing that are wedding are all starting to like go down, and all the brand stuff is starting to go up, which is very rewarding when you go through all of that.
yeah, Jen's making a big transition, and all the work she's been doing, it's you can see that um you know this is slowly shifting. I love the our picnics romantic keyword.
I have a
That's
picnic
hilarious.
for the Bay Area. I have a picnic girl, a lady, and so it's so fun for engagement shoots and things like that. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so so how do we use the Search Console? So the Search Console, if you've never looked at it before, um, it's just having that awareness of like, where am I getting clicks right now? And even if you've never done like intentional SEO and your site's been up for a while, you will still have keywords because that's the way SEO works. Your website gets automatically crawled by Google and you're going to start ranking for something, even if it's your name, your brand name, maybe even some actually pretty good keywords. So we can go back and we can like go back to something like Answer the Public or Quora. If we see a keyword, like again, our picnic romantic, maybe I would go back and see, okay, could I target a better version of this keyword? Or like, what are people asking about picnics? Because now I'm fascinated. Like, I never thought someone would ask that. Who's asking that, right? Like, is it the groom? Maybe, I
and
don't know. Like,
I did a blog that said picnics are very romantic. It's a great idea
yeah,
for a date, is kind of what the blog is
yes,
about. And
yeah,
I
I
had no
figured.
idea that was a keyword at the time.
Yeah, no, that's how SEO works. So if I click on the keyword, it will actually filter the whole report and I can see this blog, right, that is linking to this keyword. So this is one way to use it. Now, if you have used your Search Console before and you're aware of your keywords, there's a few other ways you can use it. You can use, like I said, you could use some of the initial keywords that we researched and look to see if we're ranking for them. So since Jen has been transitioning more into branding, I'm going to filter her keywords by keyword, which is query. And I'm going to just type in brand. And I'm going to start to see what are her keywords that are coming up when it comes to brand and branding. And so this is a great way to start to get awareness. Am I filtering for keywords that I want to, rank in? What are my keywords looking like? How are they specifically growing in this area? And I can turn on here. We're going to get into metrics in a second, but I can start to see, where am I in the search results for these? And the fact that they're coming up is a huge win, like
I just started in January. I'm in shock that I'm already in the fifth
yeah,
position for San Jose
yeah,
branding photography. I'm very excited.
yeah. And I guess it's interesting. Like, that's why it's so important to like, get a sense of like just SEO in general. Like a lot of my clients, they feel like, oh, like I'm on, page 7 of Google, like who cares, right? It's like, no, the fact that you're even showing up is incredible. Like it's a huge win. So we all start in page whatever, and you just work your way up slowly over time. So that's how it works. So I can filter by specific keywords here to again do keyword research within the Search Console. And this awareness is really, really important so that I can I can go back and like reinsert my keywords on pages and re-implement keywords based off this as well. So this is the second tool that I highly recommend to start when we're looking at keywords. The other one is also like an SEO tool like Ahrefs. Now, this isn't the first thing. Notice that I'm giving you guys all free tools. I don't actually recommend you guys buy an SEO tool unless you want to become SEO experts. But there are some SEO tools that you can use that are more accessible, like Keywords Everywhere, that's in the browser. But I did want to show you the behind the scenes of Ahrefs because sometimes it's just helpful to see like what it looks like. There are other tools like Ahrefs that are, I think, less expensive, but it's not the prerequisite. You can actually do a lot with free tools. You can search directly in Google as well, which we didn't do, but that's another tool you can use. So I'm going to show you again for Jen what this looks like in Ahrefs, so that you can see kind of like that step of the research process. So like I said, first I'm not sharing anything on my screen. I'm just logging in just so you guys know, because I know people get anxiety. First step, broad, right? Broad search. First step, broad. Don't look at volume. Don't look at anything. Second step, Search Console. Am I already ranking for this? Is there a variation of this keyword that's working for me? And then third step, you could use something like this or Keywords Everywhere to like start looking at volume. And we're going to get into the metrics in a minute. But in Ahrefs, I could type in something like branding and start to get a bunch of keywords. So this is like a more advanced SEO tool. But here
and just for clarification, this is the paid tool that you use as an SEO expert. It's probably not worth our investment at all.
No.
Because it's really huge.
No. Yeah, it's kind of like the airplane of SEO tools. But I'm sharing it because I guess a lot of people want to know like what is on the other side of this SEO thing, and I'm really here to demystify it. Like I just don't want it to be this mysterious thing. It's not. Like it's just another type of marketing. So we can see here that branding is actually very broad. So we've got a lot of different versions that wouldn't be helpful for Jen. But I guess I'm gonna do Jen. Brand photography is not is that okay with you, or is it?
Yeah, brand photography works. Yes. Jen just said that she uses the free Ahrefs, which I do too. And every time I get an email, I forward it to Cinthia going, what the heck is going on? But I have access to Cinthia because I'm in her membership and other paid programs. So
yeah. So yeah, something like brand photography on its own is a great keyword. Lifestyle brand photography.
Lifestyle brand photography. Those are the top three ways that people typically look.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, then photography brand guidelines. I think that's interesting. Brand photography examples. What is brand photography? Again, like
I never knew that's a keyword. I'll use it in some of my blogs just to see.
Yeah.
I mean, if I'm giving examples, photos or whatever.
Yeah. And again, the reason why we don't dive into something like the reason why we don't dive right into Ahrefs is because Ahrefs is actually very sensitive. If you put too many keywords in, you'll notice that you don't get any data. And so that's why it's important to first do your research so that when you're here, you have a much clearer idea, right? I don't use Ahrefs to go down the keyword rabbit hole because there's less data, because I guess they just use less database of raw data. So there's just less to work with. And so I hear a lot of people say, well, Ahrefs, just doesn't have that much information. It's like, no, you're not doing that pre-work. You're not you're not asking your audience. You're not, collecting multiple lists and then going down the, refining, I guess that's the word. When you get to this point, so that you've got now a little bit of a clear idea what direction you want to go in. So yeah, so those are some of the tools. We went into a lot of tool stuff today. Okay, so now what? All right, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the volume and the metrics. So when we're looking at keyword metrics, So when I do analysis, I don't do it in Ahrefs. I actually download everything to a spreadsheet. And then that's where I kind of play with my keywords, because I find, again, when I'm in the tool, I'm distracted by the tool and I'm not paying attention. So I like to export everything, or I take screenshots, and then it's like they're two different tasks because I'm using my brain in different ways. And I found that when I'm trying to collect keywords, my brain is like in a different mode than when I'm selecting keywords. So this is how I work, but obviously you can find your workflow. So when I sit down to analyze my keywords and to analyze and to choose my keywords, I look at volume, which is the amount of searches a keyword gets. Usually it's monthly. I look at impressions, which again, it's the amount of times a keyword gets loaded in the search results. So whether you're on page 100 of Google or on page 1, every time your website loads in the search results, that's one impression. My favorite way to explain this metric is to think about it as as visibility. So what is our visibility in the Google search results? Then we have position. So that is, are we on page, again, 5 or are we page 1? On average, there are 10 search results per page. It depends on the page. So if we have pages with like YouTube videos, sometimes those take up more space, and so like things get rejigged. We also have things like the continuous scroll, but that still means 0 to 1. Sorry, 0 or 1 to 10 is page 1, 11 to 20 is page 2, and so on and so forth. So that number tells us, where are we landing right now? And then click-through rate is clicks divided by impressions. So it's the percentage of clicks. I don't recommend to look at averages here because it's just very random. Like, it's very hard to analyze. If you're going to analyze, honestly, I don't really analyze click-through rate because it's so different for each industry and each keyword. But if you are going to analyze it, do it per keyword or per page in the search results. And so that's a way for you to get a sense of, like, are people clicking? But it's usually just really low. Like, I think a 2% keyword click-through rate is like industry standard. So it's not a metric I pay too much attention to. I like to look at the other ones.
Before we move on, I just Jen had a question. So how do you know whose info is incorrect is correct? Ahrefs, Shopify, Google, they all typically have different SEO. So like how long your title should be, how long your meta info should be. I don't focus on all that detail because otherwise I'm in analysis paralysis and I'm not actually delivering a blog. So I've gotten really good at, I'll look at one or two, usually just Google, because Google's the expert way more than Shopify or Ahrefs, in my opinion, because it's Google. But what do you think?
Yeah. I just want to clarify, Jen, when you say like correct info is like guidelines, right? Like,
yeah. Yeah, because as you're going through all the SEO stuff that Shopify recommends, which is where my website is, they say you should, follow all of these parameters. So you go and do that thinking I'm doing it correctly. And then you get a report from Ahrefs that comes through and your stuff is all boogered up. And it's like, I thought I was doing this right. And you go check some Google stuff and I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know what to do now.
Yeah, Jen forwards, because Jen's in my SEO membership, and she'll forward her like Ahrefs, or not Ahrefs, SEMrush. You have Jen, right?
SEMrush. Same thing though. You got 8,900 and so errors cleared. And I'm like, woohoo! And then the next you got 9,000 errors now. I'm like, what? So I don't go too deep anymore. I'm trying not to.
And the thing is, like, well, what should I pay attention to? I mean, obviously today we're kind of focusing on keywords, but that just popped in my head because it's like no matter what I do, I'm doing it wrong. So it's also part of what do I need to care about? What can I give two rips about and just move on?
It's hard. I mean, it's kind of like, I have to find like a good analogy for it, but it happens like I work with other SEO agencies, and we're all the time questioning like what our tools are telling us, I think that's the biggest skill, or like the highlight I can say. Now, if we're looking for like, there's like two questions here. So Google guidelines, I go to Google. Like Google, like Jen says, is the source. Shopify might have some stuff updated, but it updates all the time. So it's hard for these platforms to, like something like title tags. Like we know that Google rewrites title tags. That's why I'm not too focused on the character limit on title tags. Now, do I make a huge, huge long title? Probably not. Like I think about my title, but I'm not like, if it's one character over, I'm not going to spend, 20 minutes trying to figure that out. I'm just going to let the little thing be red and I'll be fine. Or I'll let like Shopify or Yoast or whatever be like red light.
I never get
Yeah.
better than orange, and I'm okay with it. I'm just living with it.
Yeah. And things like Yoast, Yoast will be like, your verb tense is wrong for Google, or your word count. Google doesn't care about word count. I've had clients rank
content.
Yeah, like I had one client, she ranked really well. All her blog posts were 400 to 600 words, and she was on page Google for multiple keywords. So there's like best practices, but then there's the just good content, like Jen says, and making sure that we're connecting with keywords. So it's kind of like a mix of things, right? And then in terms of errors, like when your tools like throw errors at you, you have to look at like, is this actually an error? I know that sounds weird, but like, for example, something like Ahrefs will say, or even the Search Console will question your redirects, because redirects can happen spontaneously and aren't always great for Google. Thanks, Enlightened Strategies. So like a redirect might actually be necessary and not an error. So you need to question each error and say, is this an actual error? Now, obviously like a 404 error is an actual error, but maybe you look at the validity and you also look at the priority of it, right? So if you've got a redirect versus a broken link, the broken link is probably higher priority than the redirect, depending on the redirect, right? Or, if you have a bunch of alt tags that are empty and Ahrefs is like empty alt tags, but those images are all decorative, so they don't need keywords in them. That's not even relevant. And so those tools, they're not designed yet to look at the context of the error. So you need to analyze your errors. You need to know, are they actually impacting my rankings today? And do I want to act on them? And that's that. And so I totally understand that that's very confusing, because it would be nice if the tool just told you like what's actually important, but that's the way it goes. So I totally love that question, and it comes up a lot. All right, so where are we at in time? Okay. So this is a powerful first step, and I want to get to the demo, but before we do that, I want to do a little surprise. So we are in August, which I guess we're past the middle of the year, and now is the time to start thinking about our holiday SEO. I ran this workshop last year in November, and I promised myself that I would give people more time to work on their SEO, because SEO takes time. It can take anywhere from 3 to 6 months to start gaining initial traction on a new keyword, and then 12 to 24 to 36 months to actually like get to that page one. So if we can start to create evergreen holiday topics for you, so come December, you're not just on page one of Google, but you've got sales coming in, you can take some time off. Like, I don't want to see anybody working hard during the holidays. So I have this offer for you today. So I have a coupon code with Jen for 40% off this workshop, which includes a few different trainings on keywords. I thought I put I didn't put a screenshot. But I did want to show you like the behind the scenes of the curriculum quickly. But it's a pretty in-depth SEO holiday prep workshop, and it teaches you keyword research specifically for the holidays. So I teach you like where to look, what to take into consideration. And I also will be having a live Q&A call, which Jen, by the way, it's inside the SEO Student Society as well. to talk about our holiday SEO keywords. Okay, so this is what you'll see. So we talk about our holiday search persona. We do some keyword. I do some keyword live demos for you specifically for the holidays. I show you on-page SEO, authority building, how to experiment and track your results. And then you also get a before and after you publish checklist. And I also will be adding here, it's not here, but I think it's on the sales page. I'm doing a keyword list for the holidays. So I actually give you keywords that are pre-SEO vetted with I'll probably take requests. I've always tried to figure out how to do keyword lists in a way that's like helpful because I want to help everybody's business. So maybe what I'll do is I'll like open up like a form and be like, tell me about your business. And then I'll do keyword research with whoever. And then like, I'll use my own brain and also do general. So it's, I feel like
when is the class?
So this is live now. So when you purchase it, you get it.
That's what I thought. But you'll be doing
and then the Q&A call is at the end of this month.
Perfect.
So you have a little bit of time to go through everything, and then
that's great.
And then
that's great because I've got many sessions coming up. So I want to be able to, I have not really done keywords for that. So that'll be fun.
Yeah. And then I also want to put out there, if you are looking for a little bit more one-to-one support, I have this intensive SEO Voxer Day, which also you get 40% off with Jen's code. And this is just a day of you and me. I have access to your search console. I have access to your website, whatever you need me to have access to. And you just ask me questions. And that day, I'll do keyword research, whatever you're working on, like at the beginning of the day. Well, before the day actually starts, I send you a form and I like get a sense of what you want to work on. And then that day we like dive in and we work things out. So I know that can be helpful to get that accountability and to just have an SEO expert looking at your stuff, right?
And thank you so much for giving that discount to my people, my community. Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah. I'll pop those links in the chat now, or maybe Jen, you already did.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. All right, let's do a demo. So maybe we'll do Jen's. I'm gonna look and see if I have access to her.
And then
and the coupon, by the way, the coupon code should already be added to those links, but I like to give it as
just
well.
in case. That's right.
All right, let me refresh my search console.
Should be fun because my stuff is a hot mess.
You will.
I've seen it all. I love
working with Cinthia because it's like and I know everyone says it, but it is truly a no judgment zone when you work with her. So I can attest to that.
I've seen it all. It's kind of when you go to the doctor and you're like, this is so embarrassing. And they're like, you're just like, you're fine. I've seen worse. Okay. So first of all, I'm loving some of these keywords like poppy clips. That's definitely a transactional keyword. So people are looking for poppy clips.
I got to throw this at you so this will make sense because I've transitioned a couple of times because I was in like direct sales, didn't have to worry about any of this kind of stuff like at all. And I realized, oh my God, I got to get out. So I did. And I started doing, I didn't start the clothing line. I was, a reseller, if you will. So I had a little boutique and everything. It was super cute and fun. And then COVID hit and wrecked everything. So I was like, all right, F this. I'm just going to do handmade stuff. It'll be fun. I can be creative-ish. And so then I kind of narrowed it down to just a small handful of things. And that is not selling. And I have to be able to stay in business. Thank God, not to feed my family, but I have to be able to do this for tax write-offs.
Yes,
and I'm kind of in the like hobby mode, and I'm just, please God, don't let my tax guy come down on me and say, you have to stop. So I am trying to get away from everything kind of that you see here. And I have a laser, CO2 laser So I'm doing all like, it will be custom. I'm still in the very learning process. I don't even have anything loaded on my website yet for that, but it's just so this all makes sense.
You can start
Okay, okay.
writing
So you're
blogs about it
transitioning.
now.
Yes. I've
Yes.
got some notes of things that I want to talk about, but yeah,
Good.
I'm getting there. Transitions
Yeah,
suck.
so let's talk about transitioning because it's a big question. And even if you like, you know, for example, for me, I used to I used to I niched into health and wellness, and now I want to help lawyers. So that's like not the same thing, but it is like this transition of like I
Yeah.
want to rank for more lawyer SEO content. Um, so how do we transition? Like how do we start ranking for keywords that we've never ranked in before? So definitely like start writing before you're ready. Like just put out some content on laser handmade gifts, or you know, do the keyword research that I just taught you. Like look at what are people asking, because I think a lot of people are fascinated by that product, but they don't know what that looks like, custom laser, you know. um and then you can also look at some pages that maybe could be transitioned, like if you do have any like custom gifts for dad or custom gifts for, you know, category pages, those ones you don't need to take away because you could just add your laser gift products to those, right? Something else that I've talked to Jen a lot about as well is like looking at your top content. So if you go to pages here, you're going to see in the last 3 months, like what is getting the most keywords or the most traffic. So if you open this up, you know, okay, so you're going to transition this. You could add like a banner here at the top that says, we now make custom laser prints or like custom laser products, which I know might seem random, but it's a way to drive traffic and just be honest with your audience as well of like, you know, now we're transitioning into this. You could do this today, right? So you don't need to wait. You could add like a little banner here that's like colorful and nice and say, hey, just letting you know we're transitioning into our custom laser products. If you want to hear about our launch or do you want a discount in the launch, you know, sign up here. So that's like also a way to warm up your audience and just start collecting emails, and also use the traffic that's coming here. And then eventually when you do have more of those products online, you can link to those new product pages. So when you have new blog posts or new product pages, you want to get as many backlinks as you can to those pages so it speeds up the traffic results. And that's going to help, just again, that transition. It's going to help go faster. Yeah, but having awareness of like, yeah, what is working is going to help you, you know where you want to send your traffic once you're ready. But yeah, I wouldn't wait. Like I wouldn't wait to have the product if you know you're going in that direction for sure. Like I would make updates to all your main site pages, like your your home page, your about page, so that you can like keep all the other stuff for now, but start to integrate the new stuff for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You say potato, I say vodka.
My most popular one
Tequila.
is you're happy. If you're happy and you know it, it's your meds.
Excellent. Danielle,
um
we only have a couple minutes left, but Danielle, did you want her to look at
yeah.
your stuff?
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Okay, so do you have a Google console by any chance?
I mean, I think I just signed up. I don't know. I didn't know about it until today.
Yeah. Did you add
Yay.
her email address? Let me get
Where do I add it?
in the admin section. Unless you, Cinthia, can look
I can,
like just
yeah,
on her website, I guess. I don't know.
okay. Yeah, what's your website? Again,
Do you want me
Danielle,
to type
or
it in
maybe
the
you
chat?
gave it to me. Yes, please. Is it the the
There you
photography?
go. Yeah,
Mhm.
I just put it in.
Oh,
Danielle.
thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so I can actually use Ahrefs to look at some of your keywords as well.
So I just actually added branding videos to it. So I really just changed my branding page and added 2 more services. So
I'm in the process of updating mine for the video too, because I went through her class.
are you gonna offer it?
Oh, yeah, I know I do offer it now, but I haven't updated my website with it because I'm still editing my practice video of a friend of mine.
Holy cow, it was a lot.
I know the editing is going to kill me, I feel like.
Oh, oh, we can
Okay.
commiserate because I did a 2 camera setup and
Oh, forget about that.
yeah. Not smart.
Good luck.
Thank you.
So for you, Danielle, definitely local SEO is important for you if you're gonna, if you're focusing on Scottsdale. Have you registered your business on Google Business Profile as a service-based business?
I believe I've done that. I will check though.
Yeah, so there's
Is
an
that how I
option
can
where
get
you
reviews?
That's how you get reviews,
yes.
and also how people find you and book you locally. That's like the map comes up for them when they're
Okay,
looking
then
for.
I've done that because
Yeah,
people are finding me through Google.
love it.
Amazing. Yeah, so all these keywords are incredible. Like Scottsdale photographer is a great keyword for you, and it's getting 30 searches each month, and you're on the pay you're on sorry, you're on the bottom of, or you're at the top of page 2. So that's not bad. So yeah, so you're there, you're getting there. So for this type of keyword, if you haven't intentionally, maybe you have intentionally targeted it. I'm just looking at your title tag. So yeah, you've got Scottsdale, AZ branding, family, and senior photographer. That's a lot in one keyword. I would recommend focusing on one type of photography at a time, and you could have different pages where you say Scottsdale branding photographer, Scottsdale family photographer. I would add your name to the title tag. Sorry, I'm going to share my whole screen because I think you guys don't. You're definitely not seeing. Do you see the Ahrefs thing now?
I do.
Yeah, you
Oh,
see it
yeah.
now.
Popped up.
So I understand, like, you want to get it all in there. I want you also to get it on there. But I would do it with individual pages. So I would do your name because people are searching your name. And then I would do Scottsdale photographer, maybe for your homepage. And then the about page, you could continue doing Scottsdale photographer or switch it up to like branding photographer, something like that. And then you could have for each of your individual, oh, you've got that. So for family, like, this is great. Like, then I would just do like this exactly. This is perfect.
Perfect.
The only thing is I wouldn't put your name between that. I would say
Because family
maybe your name
photographer is a keyword.
first.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I would put maybe family photographer, Scottsdale, AZ, and then either your name at the back or at the top. I guess you have to find your order of things, but does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know why it's like that. I must have been doing the meta tags about killed me. So
I can imagine, yeah.
I was probably half asleep when I did that. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm glad you caught that. So I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, overall this looks good.
Can you look at my branding page and tell me if it makes sense?
Yeah.
Because I just added those other ones. Yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
so again, here I would do Daniel Mucillo or Mucillo
Yeah.
branding photographer, Scottsdale AZ.
Okay.
Yeah. You got all the words. It's a little bit the order.
Yeah.
Google will still figure it out. Google smart, but if we could get the order, I think that will help. I actually, Jen, I have to hop off. I have another call, but if there are any follow-up questions,
Yes.
I can answer them in the Facebook group.
Facebook group. Perfect. Awesome. Thanks, guys. Thank you, Cinthia. So sorry we went over. I hope you guys have
No
a
worries.
great day. And if you have questions, just tag Cinthia. If you do at Cinthia, her name will pop up in our group. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. We'll see you
Thank you very
around.
much.
Bye. Thank you.